All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, my viewers and subscribers, my VIP members. I know you noticed something strange today, right? All right, so a couple things going on here. First, this shirt, Donnie went to Jamaica like maybe 5 years ago or 6 years, right? It's been a while. I really don't like Jamaican t-shirts. So people will bring them, like my kids go to Trinidad, they go to different countries, Bahamas, they go to Puerto Rico, they go to different places and they bring me back shirts, right? But I have them, I don't wear them. There's just something about t-shirts, right? Even though I do the t-shirts. So Donnie had brought this back for me and it's been in the closet this whole time. I just didn't think it. First of all, he bought it and it was so I just pulled the tags out, guys. I just pulled the tags. See, just pulled them out, right? See that? And he brought it back and it was an extra large. I guess that's why it stayed in the closet for so long, because it says extra large on it and I just couldn't see myself squeezing into an extra large. But today I am cleaning up my closet and bags of clothing. I'm donating them to a Big Brother thing. I'm not doing the Salvation Army because they sell it back. So I want to give it to people who are actually giving them away. I have so much clothes in there with the tags still on them because I buy them, they come, I just look at it, the material is not what I would think it is, or I put it on, and it's not the clothing, it's just me. I need to feel comfortable in my skin. I just don't think I should just put on whatever and go out. So I buy them, but then they're piled up in there. So I decide this week to just lighten up the closet, just leave the things that I really need in them. The armoire, all these sweaters and stuff folded, put in there, a lot of, you know, sleepwear, things that I've not touched for years. They're sitting there with the tags on them. So I'm bagging them on. Then I saw this and I said, I'm folding it. Then I said, oh, let me try it today. When I put the darn shirt on, look guys, it's buttoned with space in it, right? It is buttoned. Look at the sleeve. Look at how much space I have in the darn front. And this is an extra large, people. So I'm telling you, if you move, if you get up, do what you have, guys, it can work. After the holidays, I took a nice flushing of my system and I'm good to go. Now I'm going to be cutting back on the meat again, and I'm going to just make changes that are necessary to support my journey, to help me with to keep my mental sanity, keep my center, just to keep me going. So I'm saying to you guys, it does work. Now, you also notice, right, that I'm wearing, it's a wig, guys. This is not my hair, it's a wig. I pay so much to do my hair, and my sister-in-law sent me this wig, right? And I had it sitting there, and now today is my first time putting it on. So you tell me what you think about this. Should this be the onward and upward thing now? I kind of like it. I do. I kind of really, really like it. My sister-in-law lives in New York, and she bought it and gave it to my brother to bring for me. I'm sweating, but sweat is good, guys. So I'm on Jamaica today. Finally, something straight out of Jamaica, and that's me, my culture, my home. This is me. But today I jumped on here, people. Apart from all of the excitement, I jumped on just to really talk to us about how to resolve conflicts, right? So I sat there and I think of the children going back to school. I sat there and I saw a video of a young man this morning whose life was taken, or they said it's two of them who died there at the Burger King in Barbican, Kingston. And I'm thinking, because so many of our young people today, they have no clue how to resolve conflicts. Simple little things become a big, ugly brawl. Lives taken, parents bonding their bellies, brothers, sisters, other family members just going through unnecessary stress, unnecessary spending. They say it's easier for you to feed a person than to bury a person. When you have to bury someone, it's a big bill at once. When you feed a person, it's a little bit each day. So I thought about it, and I decided that I just need to talk to us about teaching our children how to resolve conflicts, how to learn to ignore some things. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. So as they get it, tomorrow we're getting closer to the end of the year. And whether they're in school or at home, because we see kids are taking their siblings' lives right at home for simple things that they might have touched. We remember the young boy at William Knibb Memorial High School who took a classmate's life because of a guard ring. They call him guard ring. There's no such thing as a guard ring. And this is the problem with illiteracy. When the kids don't know, they just listen to garbage and they latch onto it as if it's a book, as if it's Bible. And then they feel empowered and they feel invincible because now they're wearing the guard rings and their heads are filled with everything except the intelligence they need to guide them as they go through life so they can be successful. So today I want to remind us that especially middle school children, as they get ready to come out, we are going to be home another week. So our vacation tomorrow is the 31st, and then the new year rings in. And I'm just asking you as parents to let it ring in with a new attitude. Let it ring in with our children seeing us as adults, just resolving conflicts in an amicable way. Let them see us resolving conflicts without the name calling and the put downs and the anger and the frustration. But let them see us having conversations. Let them see us saying, oh, I didn't see it this way. I'm sorry. Let them hear us saying the words, I'm sorry, and not empty I'm sorries. A lot of people, they think that I'm sorry should fix everything. But no, sometimes we should refrain from making so many mistakes. So you have to keep saying you're sorry. Just think. If you know I don't like a certain scent, then don't bring it in the home. Or if you bring it, just let me know so that I can say, all right, I know you have to have that, but give me a chance too. Don't use it in my space. Don't, so you can have a conversation and you can disagree in a positive way. But don't just bring it and then after you use it and it affects me and my allergies are in full gear, then you start saying, oh, I'm sorry. But you knew you shouldn't, so then just don't do it. So as we go through children coming to school, help your child, when you're building kids, build them with good backbones. Let your children understand that everybody's not going to like them. Everybody's not going to be their friends. In order to make friends, they themselves must be friendly. They have to come to school with that kind of a strength to know that if I am fat and somebody calls me fat, I can cry and make it a big deal. If I am black and kids call me black, it shouldn't become a fight. Oh, you're prejudiced, you're racist, you're all. Don't teach these kids these negative, uneducated things. Those things are ignorance. If you're fat, it's okay. Embrace who you are and keep going. Don't make it become a big issue. Bullies are who they are, because you know what, when they say things, we take it personal and they see the hurt. Bullies are not soft, kind people. They look for ways to get under your skin. They look for things that will rile you up. They look for things which will make you wilter away and cry. They look for those things and they use it to needle and poke because they like to see when you are weak. They like to see those negative things. So when you're preparing your children for school, help them to have strong backbones. Teach them that some things, when it's said, let it roll off their backs, like oil on a duck's back. A wet duck, the oil cannot settle because oil and water don't mix. So teach them those strong things to ignore, learn to ignore things. Learn to ignore it. You know, because once you start internalizing it, then your child will start wanting not to come to school. You cannot be there every day for every conflict. A lot of times the kids who are weak and illiterate and are just, they have no empathy, they have no form of love or I think they may, but they just don't know how to. A lot of kids have been hurt so badly that they're afraid to come out and be nice. So we see them displaying these negative, harsh behaviors. And because they're crying out for help, they're asking, they're begging somebody to please help me. A lot of kids, it's not because they want to do the negatives. It's because they want somebody. A lot of kids, you see, they will do things because they know they'll get sent out of class. So you have to start learning how to do a reverse psychology to make sure that, oh, so you want to walk out, I got you. So when they do the things to walk out, you embrace them and you say, I believe in you. I know you have greatness in you. I know you can do well. At the end of the school year, you will be one of my top students. Give them that so that they're not quick to get in trouble so they can get kicked out. I don't like to kick kids out. I kicked out a couple one time, but they were just, it was a group of them and it was just too much. So no matter how you embrace and you guide, as soon as they get together, it was tough. So I put them out, and I remember I did a video where I talked about one girl. When I separated her from the group, I stepped out the room and I said, come here. Because she's hardcore, you know. F this, F that, and just, I'm like, I'm an adult in here. But she was just, and when I called her out the classroom, and I'm not coming. You're going to call security on me, let them come. And I said, please get up and come to me. And she got up and she came outside, and I stepped away from the door. And when I spoke to her, you could see that the kid has so much good in her. But whatever the reason, she just needed to put this tough persona on and act like a big bad person. But underneath she was a little child, begging for love, begging for support. So a lot of these big bad bullies who come out, you have to find a way to reach them. So I'm asking that as they get ready to return to the classrooms, please remember to let them know that bad behavior is not necessary. Conflicts happen in all relationships, whether it's a marriage or boyfriend, girlfriend, mother and child, grandparents and grandchildren. It doesn't matter. Conflicts will happen, right? Sometimes in a marriage, you're on a budget and you're asking, guys, we're on a budget. We gotta, you have a good conversation. But then as soon as you walk away, somebody goes and spend unnecessarily. And so you come home and you know what the things are, what you're working on, and the goals that have been set that you need to reach. And all of a sudden, here is something that wasn't needed. And so you become excited, you become frustrated, your voice raises a little. You start saying words that are unnecessary. But the thing is that we have to know how to resolve it. We don't want to start carrying on and then it becomes too much that you cannot rekindle, but find a way to resolve. The person who can manage the money better manages the funds. The person who can do, there's so many different pieces to every relationship. So you have to find ways to just reduce the stress, reduce the anxiety, reduce situations that can become more than it has to become. Right? Sometimes you come home, the dinner is cold. A lot of men, they sit back and they figure, oh, well, my wife must do this and must. It's no such a thing. In a relationship, everybody jumps in and everybody gets things done. Everybody jumps in. I remember when Donnie came and I'm working, I went to school to teach and he's sitting home waiting for me to come in and cook. But then that evening I'm looking like I'm coming home expecting something to eat. And he's just there. And I said, no, dear, remember, I work too. So anybody who is home can cook. I didn't have to tell him twice. He grew up in a situation where his mom gets up every day and makes sure his father gets his meal. So I had to teach him that. In America, people are even enjoy wherever we are. If you're home and your spouse is out working, it's okay to cook. There's no woman's job or no man's job. It's everybody taking care of the home. You use dishes. I use dishes. But if I am out there working, if I am bringing in the bread, then you don't need to leave dishes for me to come home and wash. There's no such thing. And Donnie has been just an awesome human being when it comes to taking care of things like that. Donnie will grab the mop and mop the floor. He'll run downstairs, he'll put his clothes in the wash, he'll wash. There is no this, that, or that. We get up, we get it done. And so, make sure, people, that those are the things that creates this big problem. A lot of times we start being hateful of each other without understanding why. So look at those things, fix them for the new year so you can have good conversations, you can have laughter galore, you can build good memories that later on when you get to be 20 years together and 30 years together, you can look back and laugh at some little silly things or laugh at, you remember when? And those are good things. And so for our children as they come, teach them how to ignore some things. As I always tell the kids, so you have 2 ears, listen a lot. I say you have 2 eyes, learn to observe what's going on around you. Always observe what's going on around you. But you have 1 mouth. Don't let it talk too much. A lot of conflicts the kids get into, and even in relationships too. A lot of women, we talk so much, we talk so much. We talk so much, even when something is not that. We have to have the last word. We have to keep on talking. And sometimes when we don't say the right things, or we seem ungrateful, or we seem unthankful, and we say some ugly things about family members or other things, and it becomes a situation that is hard to be fixed. Sometimes children come to school, and I'm talking about conflict and resolutions and all angles. Children coming to school, adults in relationships, adults in their employment, workplace of work, and just how to just sometimes just smile and go. Sometimes just smile and go. Because it's not that serious. One of the things that can help us as adults get through a lot of things is to remember kindness. If sometimes when you want to say that, you remember a kind deed, no matter how simple it was. If you can remember, just close your mouth. Just close your mouth. A lot of times, a simple hug doesn't have to be intimate. just a hug to say thank you. Sometimes we do some little things and you would be surprised to know the volume it speaks without saying one word. Without saying one word, you'd be surprised to know how much appreciation, how much warmth, how much love can be displayed without speaking one word. So let the children see how you live so they can likewise go out and live the right way. That they don't need to go out and pick on other people's children. They don't need to go out and put other people down because you are telling them it's not a good thing. Look in the mirror before you say something negative to another person's child. Learn to coexist in your space. It doesn't matter. Learn to coexist. You don't know other children's situation, so you don't need to go in and talk about what they're wearing. Don't talk about other people's kids. Go in, you're there to learn, go to school, do your best, learn as much as you can. Use the space in the brain that you have allowed to take up all these negative things. Fill it with positives. Fill it with good things. And so when you're speaking, good things will come out. A lot of kids, they cannot resolve things because what? Their heads are filled with just the negatives because they hear it at home. Oh, you dirty this, you dirty dog, you're stinking dirty drunker. Oh, come out of my place, come out of my place. You don't have no money in there, you don't have no this, you don't have no... And those kind of things make kids feel like this is the way to live. Whilst if there's a situation, if you were the one making the money, you were able to afford things, but you know that while you were doing all of that, your partner was doing X, Y, or Z. So it's not about how much you put in. It's the fact that together you have built. And if all that your spouse put in was just to wipe the walls down or wash the toilet and to keep it clean or to keep the floor clean, then they did contribute. So it's together. It doesn't matter how much you put in. And worse if they have children for you and have to raise. That's a gift that you cannot ever pay any woman for. And if a father is involved, they're present, that's a gift that you cannot repay because they are committed. And so you learn to coexist with kindness. And even if you don't get along, you're not sleeping together, you're not feeling that kind of emotion towards each other. And it's normal. Because life changes, right? Life, everything is not going to be the same forever. Things are going to change. Men are going to change where things are not going to be happening for them the way it used to when they were young. Women are going to go through their changes where all of a sudden they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to, don't wake me, don't touch me, don't bother me. And there are changes that are natural and normal. They're natural. It's not just one person going through it. It's natural. It's universal. So when those changes come, people can still remember the good times. It doesn't have to become hateful and unkind. It can still be respectful. And you can still have this warm hugs. And you can still hold hands. So you can still just a look that says, I so appreciate you. Thank you. So let us put value on the things that are valuable, people. Let us teach our children what values are. Buying children expensive clothing, expensive shoes, name brand this, they don't even know the value of those things. They don't know. The only thing they know, they come to school and, oh, yes, don't step on my shoes, and it become a fight because somebody stepped accidentally on their shoe. But let them know those are not what they should put those values in. Let them know that it's the way they treat people with kindness and goodness and respectfulness and with empathy and with forgiveness. Those are the things that makes this world a different place, right? And so I say to you, teach your children to love themselves, because if they can love who they are, then they'll be able to love others. When they don't love who they are, when they find fault because, oh, they're too dark, or their hair is not straight enough, or they find this thing where they feel, less than they should, how can they feel good for other people's children? So teach them how to appreciate. Teach them how to love. Teach them how to not be so sensitive for everything. Tell them to laugh some things off. Tell them to have conversations and let people know it's okay. I know I'm not this, but I am fine with it. I am still smart. I'm still able to do my work. That will deter a lot of bullying, because a lot of kids who, once they see you quail up and they say you don't want to learn, they're like that. But once you sit there, you're still learning and you're building. When they say something silly to you and you say, yeah, I might be fat, but I'm smart. Yeah, you know what? I might not have the name brand shoes on, but you know what? I am here and I am learning. Tell them to have those things to remind children that they're not there because of how they look or what they can wear or what you, the parents, can afford for them. Because at the end of the day, when you cannot afford it for them anymore and they are not able to do it, what are they going to do? Join gangs, rob people, do the negative things? So you teach them to learn to be satisfied, learn to be grateful, to be thankful for what they have, use what they have, be satisfied with what they have. Learn to appreciate, learn to appreciate their imperfections, their menial amounts, their whatever it is, their humble beginnings. Teach them how to accept those and appreciate them and be firm so that when they step out in this world, that they are stepping out with confidence, right? And with the sense that I can do this. So remember, it only takes a spark to get that fire going, only a spark. And soon all those around will warm up to its glowing. And when we teach children the balance of God's love and of your love to them and their love to each other, then everybody can warm up to the glowing. So my people, remember to like the videos, share a video or two. For my new subscribers, I so thank you so much. I see you coming in. I see the changes. I think we have gotten this week like over 30 new subscribers. Listen, people, I'm grateful. I am so eternally grateful. I'm grateful for every pound I've lost, for every inch I've shed. I am so thankful. And so as you get ready, remember, over the break, you had your cake, you had your eggnog. I don't even have a cup of eggnog. That's how good I was. The kids came and they ate, but I had just one small plate when after everything was done. We did the gungo peas with rice, we did red beans with rice, and we did the meats, and we did the fish, we did the ackee and saltfish, we did curried goat, we did the brown stew chicken, we did so much, and I wasn't hungry for that. I was so happy the grandkids were here, my kids were all here, my husband got up, he cooked, I fried the fish. But all of those things just filled me up. I didn't have anything but water to drink, and they opened a bottle of champagne in the evening, and we had that. That was like for all of us. And I had my small glass of champagne, and that was it. But what I did the day after that's when I said I wanted to do my good flushing out. And so that I could start again with my fruits, my vegetables, and just go forth. So people, do your thing. Get your wash out. Get it done. Citroma is a good washout for those of you who can find Citroma. Get it. What they call it? Epsom salts. I think some people use Epsom salt mixed in with the crushed senna leaves. But get yourself a good flush out from the top right through so that you can feel good. And so as you start putting back the good things in, don't overdo the meats. Don't overdo the flour and the breads. Just stay focused. Stay focused, right? And so that, as I say, just like I'm seeing the results, people, just like I'm seeing the results, you will see it too. And so I give God all the glory, and I thank all of you who have been supporting me. All your comments, your beautiful comments, all of the new people who came in and have been leaving positive comments. I say thank you. I couldn't do it all by myself. I thank you all for your support. Tell me what you think of the new look, the wig. I'm growing into it. I love it. Thank you, my sister-in-law. Thank you, my brother, for bringing it for me. And let's look forward to supporting one another, encouraging one another. You know, for all of you who have reached out and said thanks for just uplifting them or saying something to them that made a huge difference. It's not me, it's just Christ through me. I don't know too much. I know I did behavioral science, so I did learn a lot about people and their behaviors, but a lot of it has to do with my spirituality, my connections to the man above, because there was a lot of stories that he left for us, and for us to how we should live and how we should treat others. One of the things with this year I say too, I'm ending the video now, but again, don't become a feeding tree for anyone. A lot of people are sitting there and what they do, they have a job, right? They don't have babies on their hands, they don't have young children to worry about. It's just them. And they're working good work, but then they like to, I have nobody else to turn to, you won. Don't let them con you with that garbage. Don't lend money. That's the first thing. Don't lend. If you have it to give, you give it. But make sure that whenever you give it, it's doing something constructive. Don't give to people who are just sitting down there waiting, just living. You'll see them, they change nothing, right? They don't change anything. They don't change their eating habits. They don't change every week they're going to pick up new clothes and new boot and new this. But then when there's no money, they're waiting to come to you who have sacrificed so that you can have enough. And so they like to come and make you feel guilty. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty in this coming year. That's one of the resolutions you're going to be fixing. That's one of the resolutions you're going to be making. That you do not let anyone, whatever you do, make sure you see what it is doing. If it is something to add to for betterment, go for it. Help them. But don't let anybody sit and do nothing. They don't plant a corn grain. They don't go out there and try to do anything to change their way of living. But they're just waiting for you to go through this cold and the snow and the ice. For you to stand on your feet how many hours for the day, while they sit and just wait for you to fix. No. If there's a situation you can help, so that when you help, they say, oh, I want to raise some chicken, and you can afford to, let them show you where the chicken's going to put. Let them tell you how, if I give you the chickens and I give you 5 bags of feed, are you going to be able to? Because some people take it for granted. And you help them with investments, and what happens? The investment falls through, you don't see anything. You don't see anything from it. And they're still back to square one where they have been. You cannot you expect people to build, right? It's not, you're not going to spoon feed, and you're not going to keep casting pearls before swines. You're going to make sure that if you're supporting, not doing. You're supporting by saying, all right, this is what you want to do. I will help you. You do X, Y, and Z, and when you get that done, then let me know and I will come in. But you must see what's going on. You must see growth. You cannot keep putting in and there's no growth, and every day they sit there, or they can't just change things. One of my problems is that I am very frank. I tell people how I feel. A lot of people feel like I'm talking down to them, no, but I have to tell you how I feel. I have to tell you. Sometimes people do little things and one little thing you do and they have done so many and you have not addressed it. But one thing you do and they start telling you who you are and what you're not, but they don't pick the big old mote out of their eyes. They're looking at the kabeam in yours. So make it a different year, people, where we're resolving conflicts. And again, some of the resolve that we have to do is to just step out of some people's lives or just put them out of your lives, because otherwise every day it's going to be another thing and another thing, because they're who they are. Experiences are different. My experience might be, you know, here you can do this. Well, their experiences, no, what I have is, oh, it's about me, I, me, and myself. A lot of people are like that, and they take that attitude to their relationships. It's about I, me, and myself. What I have is mine. What you have is mine. And so they have that attitude where they feel entitled. They don't share. And everything that you have, they want half of it or they want the whole of it. So those things have to go. It's a new year, new beginning. You want to feel refreshed. You want to be stable in your mental. You have to be sane. And you want to make sure that you can go on without feeling guilty. Don't make people let you feel guilty. When Christ, remember the story, and I'm going to end now. This is a long video, longer than I expected. When the guy was sitting at the water, right? And when the water got troubled, he said if he got in there, he would have gotten, the crippled man, he would have gotten healed, right? And he sat there by the water, and he watched people come and go in and get themselves cleaned up and get themselves good. But he just sat there, and what was he sitting there doing? Feeling sorry for himself, feeling helpless, feeling hopeless. But when Christ come, Christ didn't go in and lift him up and do a darn thing for him. We like to do for people too much. Christ didn't do a thing for him. He didn't give him a dollar bill. He didn't give him a walking stick. He didn't give him a thing more than he said to him. He taught him. He said, get up, take up your bed and walk. Okay, he's making excuses like every time the water gets troubled, there's no one to put me in there. So when we keep doing for people, they'll never fix their situation, I'm telling you. They'll never fix it. Because they're always looking at you because you made the sacrifices. You did what you have to do. So they feel like, I'm not, boy, I'm not, and they're living a good living. They just want more and more. They don't want to do without. So listen, people, I'm just telling you as it is. I cannot pretend. But you have to change some things. You're going to support, but you're going to look to see, is this needed? Is this needed? So don't let people make you feel bad. They start throwing scripture at you. Oh, you're not a Christian, you're not this. You are a Christian. You're not only a Christian because you do for them when they ask. You are a Christian. And so we are going to go forth in God's grace. I wish you all the best. I will be jumping back on before the year ends. But guys, listen, take care of yourselves. Teach your children to love themselves. Teach them how to ignore things. It's not everything that somebody says they need to respond to. Husbands, wives, not everything the other ones you have to respond to. Sometimes you keep quiet and later in the day you just touch lightly. Rub the hand, rub the shoulder, rub the back. And say, look, you know, we have come a long way. I do appreciate you. I know this morning you were mad when you said what you said, so I'm not even going to focus on it. And keep moving. If you can be good, be careful. Walk good. Subscribe, like, share the video. Leave your comments. And look forward to seeing you again. Miss Bev saying all the best.